Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and today I have Ed Sullivan of the Cigar Authority coming on with me here shortly. We're going to be talking all about how to set up your car in order to have it be cigar ready. He got himself a new car, and, when you get a car and you're going to smoke in it, you got to outfit it properly. And so Ed is going to go through all the steps and all the tools you need to make your cigar or your car cigar ready. So, let's just go ahead and jump right into that so that, we can get in on the fun. So we'll see you on the flip side of that. And I'm joined today by Ed Sullivan. How you doing, Ed?
I am so excellent. I can't even believe it.
You're just so excited.
I am always excited to be on the Cigar Pulpit with the Bishop of Bern.
Well,
you say that at the beginning. It never caught on in a big way, did it?
Not really. Not really.
No.
Well, you know how it goes. It was one of those things that, there was another gentleman with a nickname on the show, and it was before we even launched, and I went into one of the local cigar shops here, and we were talking with a friend of ours in the shop, and he asked what my nickname was, and I didn't have one, and there were some suggestions thrown around,
Mm-hmm.
and ones that I'm not going to repeat,
No.
and but that one came up, and it just kind of was what it was.
You got a pulpit, so why not a bishop?
Exactly. It was a whole church theme, but whatever. The only time it ever really was anything was for the hot minute that we had cigars. It was the name of my cigar, but then that went away too. So fuck it. Who cares? So
yeah. Well,
yeah. Never know.
It's all in the past now.
Exactly. Times change. Things move on. It's okay.
Everything's
So,
fine.
Speaking of cigars, what do you smoke? I guess I'm going to start with you. What are you smoking?
Well, I have this today.
It's unbanded. Is that part of the Boners review?
No, it is not. What I have here, and you may notice it's a pretty classic size, generally referred to by Perdomo as the Epicure.
Oh,
This
okay.
here is an Epicure.
Okay. So it's a Perdomo cigar.
It's a Perdomo cigar, and I am fortunate enough to be smoking the Perdomo Legacy Connecticut.
Oh, well, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants,
Aren't
coming
I
in with
fancy?
the unreleased cigar, getting a little preview
Unreleased.
going on.
Packaging wasn't done at the time.
Wow. Well,
Yeah, hopefully there won't be any packaging hang-ups.
I mean, that's true. Although it's the cigar industry, things never really come out completely when they're supposed to. Although I feel like Perdomo's got their shit pretty well.
They do
under control.
The only thing I've ever seen them delayed for were bands that they were having printed in Holland.
So the one thing that they don't do themselves.
The one thing, yeah. and it really is the one thing.
The one thing. At what point does Nick start a printing press?
I asked him about it. He said no.
Yeah, it'd probably be a giant pain in the ass.
I mean, you've seen the Perdomo bands. They're beautiful.
Very intricate. Yeah.
And I don't know of maybe nobody else that has bands.
Yeah.
That are that involved and beautiful. So
I'll tell you, those not to start a competition or anything, but those Diamond Crown bands, the new Diamond Crown bands.
I don't know if I've seen those yet. I mean,
they're pretty
in person,
nice.
Right?
Okay.
And you really need to look at.
You do, because that's where you get the texture and everything else along with it. But no, those are nice. I'll put those up, in competition. So
right. We'll have a competition.
You should. You know what? I'll give you this. I'll give you this. Cigar Authority show idea. The prettiest bands. Who has the prettiest bands?
The prettiest.
You know, have the two guys employees go around the shop and put together a list of all of the prettiest band, and you guys could even do like a bracket competition, breaking it down and everything. Who has the best bands?
Well, Dave will hear this and then he'll tell me later on. What a shitty idea.
Probably, because because the thing is now it's like, well, I don't want to piss off this company and I don't want to piss off this so yeah, but I don't have to worry about shit like that.
No, you don't.
I don't.
Well, what are you gonna smoke?
So today I have the Aganorsa Leaf Aniversario Connecticut. It's a 6.3 by 52. It's a Nicaraguan Puro. And according to the notes, it gives off subtle flavors of cedar, spice, nuttiness, and sweet undertones.
Have you smoked it?
I don't think I've had the Connecticut version of this.
It's phenomenal.
I've had the Habano version, but I don't think I've ever had the Connecticut version.
Well, you're not so much a Connecticut guy, but the good news is, when you stuff it with enough Nicaraguan filler,
yeah,
it'll be very, very good.
Okay. Well, this was a gift from Terrence Riley at TPE, and I didn't get around to smoking it there. And so, you have your fancy Connecticut, and while I have a fancy Connecticut too. So it works out well. So it's time to cut the cigar. The official cutting is brought to you by, guess what? 2guyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. Number 2guyscigars.com.
Yeah.
I read through that too damn quick. Two Guys has been around for 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows Two Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry. Family owned and operated, 2guyscigars.com does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and excellent customer service. So head on over to 2guyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. Let them know that you guys listen to this and that you actually pay attention. I mean, I'd appreciate it. And remember, that's the number 2guyscigars.com.
Based on your recommendation, I'm going to give them a try, Nick.
You should. I think you should. I think you would be a stellar customer for Two Guys.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Maybe even for 30 years.
For 30 years. You're going to backpedal. You're going to go back. Oh, wait. Anyway, I'm going to cut my cigar. So I don't know if you've already cut and lit. No, right. Okay.
I haven't lit yet. I didn't.
You haven't lit. That's good. Some people are so premature and they just jump right in. And
I was going to wait for that long ass commercial you run.
Oh, I decided to skip that because I figured you and I would talk through it. Like while you're lighting, I would and whatever. So I don't have that loaded up on the board.
Oh, too bad. Too bad. Yeah, too bad. I'm used to the olden days when you didn't really do much post. You just did it live.
I just fuck it. You do it live. Yeah. Yeah, I still
so I can light it anytime.
Yeah, no, you can just light it up, and we'll just chat for a minute, and then while you answer, I'll
light them up.
See, that's the thing. I had to start doing that commercial while I lit my cigar because otherwise it's just 10, 15, 20 seconds of empty space, with the exception of that weird sucking noise. And so, but when I have somebody on, I don't necessarily need that.
If you have somebody who knows that they need to talk while you're doing that.
Bingo.
If you're quiet, you're no further ahead.
Exactly. A little conversation goes a long way amongst two people,
a little bit of podcasting experience. So I know, especially for podcast cigars, when people are puffing on their cigar, your job is to fill some time. You can't.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Just like that.
We don't want dead air.
No, not if we can avoid it.
Not if we can avoid it.
Not if we can avoid it.
And mostly we don't want eating noises.
Oh, now see, I revel in pissing off the listeners with the eating noises because I know that it gets to me too, but I love it. Like the future.
You know what I forgot to do was,
Oh, crinkle your cellophane, my God.
Yeah,
Boy,
because
that's a
you
throw.
you always
That's
liked that. That's a
yeah,
throwback.
that's a throwback. That's a throwback. Um, no, every time I was on the barbecue podcast with those smoking butts guys, I would make the most elaborate eating noises just to piss off
Mhm.
and it fired up their listener base. They got so many comments and everything, and I'm like, this is perfect. You're getting interaction. It's like I'm taking the bullet for
Yeah.
you, but you're getting interaction. People are listening. That's
Uh,
what you want.
lately, when we're chomping on something, when Dave's like really focused on digging in, sometimes I mute his mic now.
Now that's
You know,
appreciated.
because
Well, but see, you have other people there. You can
oh
kind
yeah,
of, you know, there can be
well,
conversation, and that might distract away from the conversation. And
right.
let's be real. Dave's getting a little older, and as you get
Yes.
older, you get a little louder when you eat.
Oh boy, yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
See, I
A
pick on
little bit.
Jonathan all the time. I figured I'd be a little more equal
Wow.
opportunity here
Phew.
and throw a lava bomb over at Dave
Is
for a
is
moment.
that because you can't get to the expo this year, so you figure you can
No, it's
be
because
less
every time
kind?
every time I fucking come up with a show, it's that Cigar Authority ripoff, and he doesn't do show notes and all that. It's like God,
Mm.
dear God, there's a lot of hostility, a lot of hostility.
Yep. Yep.
No,
Well,
I can't. I'm pissy about the expo. That's a whole different situation. But Dave's not the target of my pissiness on that front. But
it,
you know,
it it seems accommodations could be made 6 months in advance.
you'd think that, wouldn't you?
I would think that, I feel as though things like these are leading to the change in your personality.
Look at you. You're tying so much shit up,
It's
man. You're just
all tied
you're just all
together.
these episodes just coming together in this nice little package. I'm
Uh,
appreciating this.
I
This is
I got a
nice.
laugh out of that call in.
Well, I mean, he makes a
It-
valid point
It's
that
very valid.
yeah.
People are not one thing forever.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
You know.
No, I'm gonna have to talk to Pinky about retaking that test because
Yeah.
I can't remember. I don't feel like it was 8 years ago.
Wow.
I think I feel like she you know what, I might even be able to tell you how long ago it was because I feel like I have the screenshots of my results that I sent to
Really?
her. Um
What
uh
are you thinking
Maybe
on
not.
that Aganorsa? You getting a little bit of strength on that, even though it's a Connecticut?
Hmm.
I mean, it's a very smooth smoking cigar.
It's a it yeah, it's fairly mild right now.
You could
Um
uh, you
right off
could
the beginning.
retrohale that and probably not cough up a lung.
Oh
Let's
sure I
see.
could.
It'll be a fun experiment. Hmm.
Oh yeah, easy retro hail
Mhm.
on that thing. Um, with that in mind, I'm two. I'm at like a two.
A
This is
two.
this is easy right now. This is not strong at all. Of course,
Yeah.
I have been smoking a shit ton of cigars lately.
Have you?
Um, yeah, the last couple days have been heavier days. It was August 6th of 2020 that I took the test.
Huh. Well,
So it was not
it's
8 years
four
ago,
four and a half
but it was a solid
roughly.
4.5 years ago. Now
Oh,
I was not divorced yet at that point. That was
right.
solidly in the middle of COVID, the COVID shutdown.
Mm.
So there is that. But no, I was still married at that point. But yeah, but no, it was 2020, so it was not 8 years ago. I didn't think it was 8 years ago. But anyway, no, so what the last few days, um, I got done with the paper relatively early on Tuesday, doing layout. And so I sat out here and I just binged my way through season 3 of Ted Lasso, which we can get to that later. But I so in the process of that, I think I smoked like 4 cigars that night.
Whoa.
And well, I know it's not getting to your numbers for the day or
And
anything, but
seeing as you're watching Ted Lasso, were they heartwarming, joyful cigars? Or?
They were brick houses, actually. And then then yesterday was my delivery day, and so I was in the car a lot. I think I smoked another 4 cigars yesterday. So like the last few days, they've been well, and then Monday there were quite a few because we've been in this weather pattern where it's just been gorgeous here. Like today, I think it's maybe 75 and sunny. And
Ooh,
so we're just gorgeous weather pattern. So I've been enjoying the cigars the last few days. I've been
see,
trying to catch up because I had a few days that were very low number cigars days. I got to get my
uh,
average up.
I'm in the place you were. I need a little bit of heat, but it's almost too much. But if I turn it off, I'm cold.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
probably, low 40s today.
Okay. Yeah, I right. Well, it's chillier than that. Well, it's chillier than 70 right now, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still nice enough. I'm out in my garage in shorts and I do not have the heater on. It's pleasant. So
Mm,
I'm
look
happy.
at you.
So I know, right? So now, Ed, you're on today because we're talking about smoking in the car.
Oh, I love that. You
I
know
know,
that
I know
because
that.
I
I know that. I respect that about you because
up
some people don't do that.
up until recently, I had the infamous Tesla door, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tesla Model 3.
And you
But
got rid of the Tesla door.
I did. And that wasn't an Elon protest, although I do need to say that when I bought mine, he was
Yeah.
a quirky CEO, not a Bond villain.
You
So,
know, I desperately want to see him standing in the Oval Office, just holding and stroking a white cat with like one eye. I just
right.
think that would be it would just be too on point. But
He,
anyway,
he'll be fine because even though he lost billions of dollars, Trump and Hannity bought a car each, so he'll be fine.
there you go. And
It's fine.
that's direct money,
Yeah.
into the company at that point. Yeah. No, that's
Well,
good. That's good.
and then at this stage, I figured, let's finally just admit we're old. Let's embrace the old man thing.
Hmm.
So I got me a Cadillac.
You know what though? They're good cars. I mean, is it like 5 miles long?
It's a fairly large
Yeah.
Cadillac, but it's an EV. Still EV.
Okay. Okay. So
Cadillac Lyric.
okay, I'm to the Googles. I'm not familiar here. I'm
Oh,
gonna I'm gonna Google this and
and
see.
I got that in Emerald Lake color, so it's almost a
Oh
green
no,
color.
that's a pretty looking car. So like kind of
It,
a so it is a car like a
they call it
crossover.
they call it an SUV, but it's more wagony, don't you
I was
think?
gonna
In
say
style.
it's a squatty SUV. I would wagon or what the crossover was the term
Yeah.
when people didn't want to say wagon. Yeah, I would put it that way, but
Yeah, I
you
think
know,
now they just want everything to be an SUV. Like it's not that easy to buy a sedan anymore. There just
no,
aren't that
yeah.
many of them.
Um, so man, so Tesla door that just rolled off the tongue so well.
Yeah,
I mean,
caddy door, I don't know.
candy door
It's
that
like
just
then it sounds like caddy's its own thing, and it's you're talking about the door of a Cadillac. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
you know,
Humilac.
it's in this green color, so the car's name in the app is Green Hornet.
Oh, see, there you go. I like
And
that.
you saw the look of the car. You could see a little Hornet in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All
So
right.
for me, even when you get to the point of car shopping, a guy violated one of my rules with the Tesla,
Okay.
which is always get a black headliner.
Mm.
Ooh, was that
Yes,
thing?
yes. I have a gray one in my
And
Pathfinder.
it discolors.
You
And
can tell exactly where I sit
yeah,
and smoke in that car because it does discolor over time. And what's funny is if you flip the visor down
yeah.
underneath the visor,
Oh,
it's gray, so you can even tell the outline of things that are yeah, yeah.
yeah. The two sides of the visor are radically different.
Yes, exactly.
And,
Oh no, yeah, no, I
and
100%
it's not
agree.
easy to get that staining out,
No,
you know, because it depends on the type of headliner. You remember the old days when it was more fabric, and
yeah.
if it got wet, it just would fall,
Oh yeah.
right? The
Hey, you
droopy
got that the
headliners.
droopy headliner in the car. You get
I,
try to like staple it or tape it up. It
right.
just yeah, no,
Some
no.
of them are different materials now, but once it's stained, it's hard to go back.
Mine is fabric-ish, but I think it's like a oh, I
A
don't even
lot
know
of
what to
them
wear. Like a
are using some kind of recycled plastic material that they make
okay,
into something that's fabric like.
that seems about right. Kind of, I was
Yeah.
thinking some sort of a synthetic. So
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
sure it's very synthetic,
yeah,
extremely synthetic. But
designed not to burn, immediately, perhaps, or maybe
yeah,
it will. I don't know.
but here's the things I learned when I was car shopping because I
Okay.
was looking for black headliner. Not that easy to find.
Oh,
The designers, all operate under the assumption that if you use a lighter colored headliner, the car feels more spacious, which is
I mean, I
probably somewhat
understand that.
true.
No,
But
I completely understand that. It's like that in a room. If you have a room
yeah,
that's painted like a dark color, it looks more tight and confining than a room that's painted in like a lighter color. That actually makes a lot of sense to me.
right. But
But
that doesn't help me.
yeah, it doesn't help you when you're actually looking for a black headliner.
No. And then I wanted to have a sunroof. Those are kind of going away now with these all glass panoramic roofs.
That's another thing. I it's the one feature I don't have on my Pathfinder that I
Just to
desperately wish I
crack that
did.
up is nice.
Yeah, I had it on the Escape that I had before this Pathfinder, and it was
And you
just
find yourself missing it.
every single day,
Yeah.
every day, especially on nice days like we've got. It's. I'd have killed to have the sunroof open yesterday while I was driving around.
And the final thing I really wanted is I did I wanted a car that's some kind of color, right? And
Yeah,
when I started digging into it, do
I
you know that 80% of the registrations in the US are white, black, gray, silver?
I
80%.
I do know that because I listen to you say that on the Cigar Authority when you're
And
talking about car paints, and
yeah,
and but it makes
it's
sense though when you stop and look around. And hell, the
short.
the car that I had before this was silver, and then now I have a black one.
And manufacturers have kind of driven it to that point.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
obviously easier the fewer colors you have, right? So you're not turning over to paint booths for new colors and all of that.
Well, and I guess it's one of those things too. You never really think about it, but every time you see a car that's like a electric orange or a bright yellow or
You
something like
sure
that,
notice it.
you notice it right away. And you even, if you're with somebody, you even comment on it
Right.
most of the time. And that must tell you something because if it were such a like, it's such an oddity that that's why it stands out. Yeah, that's interesting to stop when you actually stop and reflect on it. That yeah,
No, and next
it,
time you're just driving down the roads, have a look and notice.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think the most popular outside of the monochromatic range is, I think, blue. Blue
Okay.
has, then you go down to red, but those are single digit percentages.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. All
Well,
right.
we're living in gray times, Nick.
It's boring. It's so boring.
It's a
Um,
monochromatic world. All the color is gone.
See, you need to get like giant flames and shit painted on the side of your Cadillac. And then that way,
Well,
not only will it look different, it'll go faster too.
listen, now we were going to talk about accessorizing your smoking car, but the first thing
Yeah.
I bought for the Cadillac was a deadhead sticker.
Nice. See, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, an homage, I guess, to a Don Henley
Yeah, I was
song.
gonna say you got a deadhead sticker on a Cadillac. There you go.
Now,
I
he didn't
like it.
say bumper sticker, and I don't want to stick a bumper sticker. So
No,
it's
no,
like
no,
a
no.
window sticker. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I realized the back window is so tinted out of the factory, you can't
Can't
really
see
see
it.
it. But it's a joke for me anyway. I don't. Who
Exactly.
cares about
It's
the
okay.
rest?
It's okay. Um,
Yeah.
so then in terms of ashtrays, what do you do in your car?
So, and I bought a new one to treat myself. I'm a fan of the stinky car
Yep.
ashtray.
Yep. Same here.
There are other ones that are similar, but oddly, that kind of cheap little clip thing works pretty well.
It does. Now the only thing is mine at one point got bent
I
and
know. So then you're in the bend cycle.
yeah, because
You're
then you're trying to
squeezing it together, and it's like, oh, that's too. Oh,
you're
yeah.
trying to bend it back and it never bends back perfectly and then you're tearing wrappers and shit and so like yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
One thing I noticed is, yeah, if you've got a fairly big cigar, and
Mhm.
you put it in there, and then want to close it to contain the stink,
Yeah,
sometimes that'll catch those prongs the wrong way,
and
and
it'll bend. It'll
yeah,
yeah.
because you'll notice all of a sudden, why isn't this closing?
I am going to admit something that perhaps maybe makes me an animal, but I'm going to admit it anyway. So I use the ashtray for the ash,
Mm.
but for the butt of the cigar, I just toss that out the window.
As long as you take the band off, I'm fine.
Oh yeah, I'm smoking past the band at that point anyway.
All right.
So
It's
yeah, no, no, no.
leaves.
That's exactly it. I take the band
There's
off. That
nothing
goes.
else to it.
So I started doing this recently. I take like a just a, like a plastic shopping bag, from like the grocery store or something like that. I open up my glove box and I kind of tuck it on the handles on the corner, and then I shut the glove box to hold it in place.
Hmm.
And it's a nice, convenient little garbage bag that you can just reach over and just drop right in there.
I
Yeah,
like that.
got a little garbage bag, and then at that point, when it's full or whatever, you just toss it, and it's no big deal. And so that's where the bands and cellophane go. But
Hmm.
the butt that goes out the window, and I also always try to make sure it lands on concrete. I don't throw it
Right.
in
And
grass or something like that, just in
try
case.
to make sure it's not bouncing off somebody's windshield.
Precisely. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to. I
I
learned.
imagine it's rare that you'd toss it before it's out anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, my point is, I don't want to be like, I learned from Smokey Bear. I'm not looking to start any forest fires, and
You
but
weren't in California at some point,
I
were you?
was not.
All right.
I have I've been to California. Oh, one time in my life, and that was
That's
and
enough.
that was supposedly to the happiest place on earth. But yeah,
Oh
whatever. Anyway,
God.
yeah,
A lot of horror there.
so much,
Our
so
friend
much.
Dan Davison's going to Disney for his bachelor party.
Look, I like Dan. He's a nice guy, but I don't
But there's
fucking trust.
something wrong with that, right?
I don't trust Disney adults. I
No.
was married to one. I don't trust Disney
He
adults.
says he's not a Disney adult, he's a Disney
Bullshit.
enthusiast.
I've heard him just enough talking, and he's a Disney adult, and I don't trust that shit. Like,
I know.
if he
I
can
was,
tell me, the closest snack stand that has the freaking Dole Whip and the churros, then something's wrong.
mhm.
And I'm sure he can tell me.
Oh,
So
he can tell you
yeah,
more than you want to know. In fact, he always tells me more than I want to know.
there's just something unhealthy about the Disney adult thing. And I
I
say
know.
this with like, boxes of freaking comic books all around me, but
Well,
there's
yeah, but
something unhealthy
still.
about the Disney adult thing.
And really, a bachelor party at Disney?
So I missed that. I thought you said honeymoon. I don't know.
No, no, bachelor party.
That's fucked up. Because
I
what are you
mean,
gonna do? You get a Minnie Mouse
Disney
come out and take
princess
off her top,
strippers, you know.
Exactly, I mean, you and I were thinking the same way. I just went with the
Yeah.
mouse, but yeah, but exactly. I mean, Ariel flinging her
Oh
shells
yeah.
around and everything. Just be like,
I don't
finger the
know.
fish hole. But yeah, it's just oh god, I just no, there's just no. I'm
No.
sorry, Dan. Dan, you need to go. Although you know what, Vegas has lost its charm for me because of all the trips out for TPE and everything else. So it's kind of like I find
Well,
somewhere to go. You know?
listen, I think the one point he had, I'm not saying the Disney is okay, is
Mm-hmm.
people are getting married later. if you're in your 30s or something, do you really need a strip club? You
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, it's
know?
look, at this point, the only reason I would recommend anybody go to a strip club at all is if the midget wrestling is coming through town and that's the only venue that they're wrestling at. Then I would say, you know,
And you're saying it's okay because you did it?
no, I went. They were at a bar.
Oh, all right.
They were at a bar when I went, but I mean, if they were coming through and that was the only venue, after having seen them, I may consider it only because that was a hell of a show, and
Right.
whatever. Before having seen them, I would I did not. They actually came through multiple times at the Hustler Club here
Huh.
locally, but yeah, no.
So all we got in the car is an ashtray so far. But and here's something I always get right away
You know, the
is
other thing, not to interrupt, the
yeah,
stinky ashtray, it fits the
perfect.
cup hole perfectly, because
Yeah.
I had one from another company that I will leave nameless, and it was just a cylinder. It didn't
Yeah.
have the thing, and it was just a little small, and so
Yeah,
every
see.
time in the dark when I'm driving at night, anytime in the dark, I would ash. I always had to be very mindful of where the cylinder
Right.
was because I didn't want to ash in my actual cup holder.
Right. And they
So,
also nailed the taper very well so you don't get
uh huh,
rattling or
uh
anything.
huh, uh
It's
huh.
a good fit in there. But
Mm-hmm.
the
Anyway,
first
so
thing first
stinky
thing
ashtray,
I order for the smoker car is a screen protector.
a screen
So yeah,
screen
almost all
protector.
cars nowadays are going to have some kind of LCD screen on them.
Oh, okay.
And most of them are going to tell you don't use chemicals and shit on this.
Yeah.
And so it's worth it and you can find them on Amazon for almost any car out there. I didn't know if I'd find one for mine because in the Lyric, it's got a 33-inch wraparound screen.
Oh my gosh.
They had a protector for it.
Okay.
And, I listen with the smoke and everything, when it
Yeah.
gets filmy, it's not easy to get that off. So I'd rather have the screen protector and be able to use something a bit harsher than
Ah,
I
shit.
would normally use.
Get the bleach on there, whatnot.
Whatever it takes to get that off there. But, well, because then once you get the film, imagine
Yeah,
the fingerprints you can get in the film on the screen.
that's true. That's true. Oh yeah.
Uh, the uh, the other thing I always do right away for my smoker's car, you're probably going to buy some floor mats. I mean, nobody wants carpet floor mats,
No.
especially if you have any winter weather.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm a fan of the product from 3D Mats.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, they're just very nice. And they have the very high sides, right? Because
Mm.
if you're tracking in boots full of snow, you need
Yeah, it's gonna
something
go
to
up on the side.
contain.
Yeah.
And they come up way underneath the gas and brake
Oh,
pedals
that's good too. That way you're not like
and
actually catching it and yeah.
and accommodate the so-called dead pedal, where you rest your foot there. It
Oh,
covers
okay.
that as well. So
Okay.
very, very good product.
All right then.
So now
Okay.
we got some mats because if ash gets in your carpet, that's a bad move.
Yeah, because that's just gonna not only add to the odor of the vehicle, but then
Right.
also, if it's hot ash, then you have the potential for
Ooh,
like singeing said carpet.
this
So
is
you don't
bad
want that.
news.
It is. It is.
So then we need a lighter and cutter in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm a big fan of a perfect cutter for the car
I have a perfect cutter in my car right
because
now,
you
actually.
don't have to look at the cigar and you'll still get a good enough cut on it,
Now I do travel with my
Sure.
SV and
Sure,
my
because
I do travel with them.
well,
But
yeah, you
you're
may
talking
be I'm talking I'm already driving and I
emergency
finished
kind of
one and
situation.
now I got
Yeah,
to light another one.
true, because those I keep in my pocket, whereas the perfect cutter, there's that little tray right in the center
Yeah.
under where the dash makes up the center console. There's a little tray right there, and that's where I keep the perfect cutter and the lighter.
It's just a tray. It's not a tray Mac. It's a
No,
tray.
it's just a tray. Yeah. If it
Yeah.
were, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, that's the other thing that I usually end up getting for cars now. A lot of them, armrest storage and stuff, are
Hmm.
just big, deep caverns.
Yeah,
And uh, there's almost always some sort of 3D printed thing that'll fit in that space above the cavern,
yeah.
dividers and stuff, which,
See, I hate when it's not when it doesn't have a bottom, when it's just a
Mhm.
handle and you theoretically, because I'll drop my lighter, thinking it's like a confined space, and the next thing you know, it's like falling to the ground, and then I
And
gotta look under the
then a
seat, and
minute
it's just
later you hear it hit bottom.
yeah, it's under the seat. It's like now I
Yeah.
gotta get out. It's a whole thing,
Uh,
It's a whole thing.
usually I'll just keep one of these vertigos in there, but
You
what
and I are
I
rocking the same car accessories so far. Like
what I always have is backup Bics.
now
And
that I don't. That
all
I
right,
don't.
so here's the scenario. Winter lighting.
Okay.
All right. When this has been sitting out in the elements for too long, it's not going to light.
You're right.
Nor will this right away, but 3 seconds in your hand, this is
Mm-hmm.
already ready to go. And you're in the car, so wind isn't a consideration.
It's
you know.
valid. That's
So
valid.
I like to have those. And then if you aren't paying attention and you run out of fuel, well, you got the backup there. So I'm a fan of the backup Bic.
Okay. Now the only thing I would recommend with the Bic, you have the standard Bic.
Hmm.
I really like those. It's almost like a miniature version of the barbecue lighter.
Oh yeah,
Have you seen those where
the
it's got the little?
stick
Yes,
with
I
the
like.
like more like a trigger.
Yeah, it's more like a trigger, and it's got the
Yeah,
little. I like those better than
that's
the
perfectly
standard
fine.
Bic. I,
Yeah,
I, because your thumb's not right near the flame at that point. I
I
sometimes when I'm
understand,
lighting
but
the
for
cigar, it's like
just a backup, I don't know.
I'm used to pivoting the butane lighter,
Hmm.
and with the Bic you can't because the flame it just it stays standard, and that's how you end up burning the tip of your thumb as you pivot the lighter thinking that you can. So
Oh, yeah, you got to be careful.
you do.
But so I got my sunroof, I got my dark headline. I'm happy.
You're
Now
set. You're ready.
in the Tesla door, I
Yeah.
usually had a Black and Decker rechargeable vacuum, right?
Oh,
Because
okay.
I like to have something in the car because you're gonna get ash somewhere,
Precisely.
and the drawbacks to the Black and Decker is it's not that little, and you
Yeah.
got to put it somewhere. But the biggest drawback for me was then you go to use it and you're out of charge. And now you got to bring it
Oh,
in the house and charge it. And then you
yeah.
forget to bring it back to the car.
Yeah.
So I've been searching for something car only and I found it.
Okay. All right. I was actually just sitting here thinking about something, but okay. So what did you find?
This is the Fantic.
The fan tick.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And it's USB rechargeable. So you
Oh.
can recharge it in the car. It actually is quite powerful.
Okay.
The thing I like is it also has attachments you can put on the other end that act
Mm-hmm.
as a blower.
Mm.
Because I don't know if you've noticed, almost every car you're in, where the seat rails are
Yeah.
on the other side of it, you can't
Yeah.
get any attachments in there.
No.
So you can use this and blow the ash right out of that spot
And then suck
and
it up
then
with the
suck it
other.
right up. Yeah.
Now,
So
see, you got to watch having that around Mr. Jonathan. He might try to like
he thinks it's
vi-
for other
he might
purposes.
violate the fleshlight kind of situation. Yeah.
Well, when he uses his man wipes, he could use this as a ass dryer or something. I don't know. But
Oh God, he's
I,
got to
I,
watch flushing that shit down the toilet. Hopefully, he's not flushing it down the toilet. That'll clog
I
the
don't know
pipes.
what he's doing with it.
I'm
There's
just
some
saying.
things you're not sure you want to know.
Well, no, but I'm just saying that shit'll clog your pipes. They say that
Oh, it
it's safe to
absolutely
flush,
will. It
but they're not
isn't.
safe to flush.
They are
So
not. Don't
they are.
do it.
No, no, trust me. Trust me.
Says you.
Says the guy who did and had to have a plumber come out. What, 2 days before? Was it 2 days before the expo? I feel like it was 2 days before the expo. It was either the expo or Pulpit Fest. I can't remember which, but I had to have a plumber come out 2 days beforehand last year and take care of my house pipes because of the man wipes. But so I stopped that.
Yeah,
So,
you have to.
It's just you have to. Anyway, so okay, so you found a good. So and that looks like it would be small enough that you could like at least fit it under the seat or something
I
like
just
that.
have it back behind the seats, and
Yeah.
you can reach back, grab it, and get that stray ash.
So do you not have like a regular, just standard like outlet in your car? Because I know some of the nicer vehicles have
I
actual
do
outlets.
now.
Yeah.
It's interesting though. Most of them are pretty weak.
Well,
It's
yeah, because I
like
mean it's drawing off the
150
car,
watts.
battery, so
Yeah,
it's
so you
gonna.
couldn't run a vacuum on that.
No, that's true.
Even in the house,
Yeah.
depending on the wiring, the lights will go dim when you turn on a vacuum. So, and listen, compact size was a big thing for me.
Nah, that's
Has to
important.
be a little thing, Yeah, if I'm
Yeah.
doing a full car clean, I'm gonna go get a real vacuum.
Well, yeah. I mean, you go to the car wash or something like that where they get the big ones.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not, right?
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean, I don't know.
listen, it's much bigger, but even my Dyson
Oh, okay.
chargeable one will certainly has more sucking power than this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But with the primary use of ash, it's perfectly good for
Nah.
that.
No, that's great. That's great.
That is
You're putting
perfect.
in a lot of thought into this, and I like that. I respect that
I
because
gave it a lot of thought,
yeah, yeah.
Then, you know, I I thought through some cigar storage options, but I'm not sure I'm going anywhere with that. I smoke them fast enough.
Mm,
People are obsessed with humidity on cigars. I've got a box that's been in the car for a month. They smoke perfectly fine.
yeah. I mean, I have them. Yeah, at my house. I have cigars out of the out of humidors. I have some on the kitchen counter. I have a humidor that's in my office where I just threw cigars in it. I didn't even like put any packs or gels or any kind of crap in it.
Yeah,
Everything's fine. It's all fine.
it's all
You know,
fine. I mean,
it's all fine.
someday it wouldn't be fine, but
Well, yeah,
they're
but I'm
gone
not
by then.
exactly. I'm not leaving them for 20 years. It's like I'm smoking them relatively quickly. So,
You know,
um,
might I say this is a phenomenal cigar? Can you see the burn line on
that is really straight. That is a really straight
that?
burn line. My God, that is a really straight burn line.
Well, aged tobacco will help you out quite a bit.
Yes, it
And
will.
this one has, for Connecticut, a little bit of zip to it. As
Yeah.
I understood it, they're using a new wrapper for one of them, a
Mm.
shade grown Nicaraguan wrapper.
I did hear something about that.
And yeah, I've smoked that one.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Really good cigar. And if I recall correctly, Nicholas said on the other two, the Connecticut and the Maduro, they're using that shade grown for the binder.
Okay.
And
Okay. So you're still getting that flavor.
it's got some really good sweetness to it
Okay.
that really helps. Sometimes Connecticut can profile as a little bit bitter.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Not this one.
So let me ask, you've smoked the other one. You've smoked this one. Have you had the Maduro yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, so you smoked 2/3 of them. I'm
2/3.
wondering which is gonna be the standout from that.
This is interesting to speculate. I think it's more a question of where it'll settle in, right?
Yeah,
Because of the shade grown Nicaraguan, they've never done this before.
yeah.
People are going to be drawn to that out of the gate, I think,
Try something
right?
different. Try
Try
something new.
something different. So I think that one may have some early juice, and then people will go back to more like what their profile is, whether it's
Yeah.
a Connecticut guy, a Maduro guy, but that shade grown is a special cigar.
No, I'm just curious because it seems like with the 10th, I mean, obviously you have the champagne, which is a monster just in and of
I
itself.
think that's still their biggest skew, you know.
But when they kind of rebranded the sun grown and the noir, it felt like the Maduro kind of took the edge in that
Yeah,
one.
I think in terms of sales, the Connecticut was still
Well,
the
yeah,
winner.
I'm with that with the 10th. I'm kind of just
Yeah.
comparing the sun grown and the Maduro. Now with the
Hmm.
30th, having all three, I feel like the sun grown kind of like took the edge there.
Yep.
And so I'm just curious as to what's going to take the edge in the legacy.
Well, I'd say we go with the shade grown to do it.
Probably.
Yeah.
And your logic is sound that it's something different, something new. People are going to want to try it. But then again,
Then again, I
that
don't
Maduro
know.
might be like amazing. Who knows?
Maybe you better go visit them when you're out at PCA.
I think I will. I think I
You
will.
think you will?
I haven't gotten an email from them trying to set up a time yet. I've been getting all these emails from manufacturers
Hmm.
scheduling media times, which is new to me as well because nobody does that shit at TPE, and I think it's
Hmm.
amazing. I love it. Like I'm building out my calendar. I know exactly where I have to be and when, and I know who I'm going to
Yeah.
get. And this is great. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Nicholas may be the guy to speak to, you know, because
Yeah,
he's the one behind this.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. Why not?
I why not? Indeed, I think it'll be great.
How's
Now,
your Aganorsa? Did it move at least to a 3 or 4?
yeah, it's still much
You
more
think?
mild than I would have thought
Listen
with a
to you.
Nicaraguan Puro, but it's good
Leather
though.
palate.
I'd put it at a 4 now.
All
I'm about
right.
halfway, and I'd put it a little less than
So
halfway.
like a Dave 8 or something?
Oh yeah, Dave's getting ready to vomit at some point here. He's just so fucking strong. Um, Now the going back to the car thing,
Yeah.
the thing that I would say, that I would keep in the car in addition to your list, and
Fire extinguisher?
that's not a bad idea. Get one of the little guys. No, so I have a little canister of it. It's it kind of looks like a canister of like a hair
Nitrous?
gel or something like that.
Nitrous
No, no,
oxide?
no, no,
No,
no,
no, no.
no. But it's a powder,
Huh.
and you put just a little bit of it in the bottom of your ashtray,
Oh yeah.
and it makes the it takes the whiff out. I think is the company.
Yeah.
But
Makes
holy
it
shit,
seem fresh.
it does, and it
Yeah.
takes that ashy smell. And so then when you open up the stinky ashtray, it's not stinky. It's got
Yeah.
that nice kind of, in this case, whiskey leather or some shit combination shit like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, it's good. I like it. So
Well,
that's something to keep in
once a
mind.
quad, I run an ozone generator.
Mm,
Does it work? Kind of.
I've
You know.
actually never thought to do that. I have one sitting right over there that I have for the garage here, but
Oh yeah.
never
I
thought to do that in the car.
just put it in the car for a couple hours, you know.
See, when I first got the car and I
You
cared,
cared more. Yeah.
I was having it detailed annually, and then at some point it was like, you know, it's like this just isn't happening anymore.
Well, here's the thing,
I
you
think
know.
money became the issue there, but yeah,
A lot of people don't enjoy the cigars in their cars because they think, oh, well, when I go to trade it in, blah, 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 blah. Well, generally, from my research, a smoker's car will go about 10% less.
okay,
You know, so if you're trading it in for $30,000, well, it costs you $3,000 to smoke in your car
yeah,
for years. I'll
Yeah.
pay that every time.
I've never had a car that was getting that much in trade, so I never
So
really
look at the
bothered.
differential, right?
I tend to just drive my cars pretty much into the ground.
Oh, then
So,
well, you don't care at
and that's
all.
exactly it. So I give no
You're,
shits whatsoever.
yeah, you're getting the pity trade in.
I,
We could
yeah,
give you 1,000 for it, but Jesus, we're not.
we're gonna give him just a little bit just to make him happy. No, I actually did pretty well on my trade in for my Escape, and realistically, that car should not have gotten anywhere near the amount in trade that I got for it
Depends on
because
timing too, you know.
true,
And
that's true.
most of the dealerships, they don't care about this Blue Book or Edmunds they care about auction values in their
Yeah,
area because for something that old, high mile, they're
yeah,
not keeping it. They're
no,
flipping it. So
exactly.
they look at auction data and, maybe those were running higher for some reason, but
Never know.
you
I don't
never
know.
can know.
My high mileage is definitely the thing. I mean, like my 2019 Pathfinder sitting there with 208,000 miles on it. It's been run hard, so you
Well,
know
your
it's all
next
right.
car is going to cost about $1 billion with all
I
the
know.
tariffs and
I am not. I'm not
uh,
looking forward
even
to
if we make them here, the steel's going to be very
it's gonna
expensive.
well, and I would have had to have paid God knows how many different union guys to be putting it together, and
Yeah.
at those prices and wages. Which, hey, if they can get it, good for them. But I don't want to pay sixty
Well,
thousand dollars for a vehicle that 20 years ago, well, 10 years ago, would have been $30,000. But
what were they
such is
saying
life.
before all of this? The average cost of new vehicle was it up to 48,000 or something?
Yeah, it's been high for quite a while.
Now they're
Um,
talking. Then now they're talking. 12 grand a vehicle with the tariff stuff. So yeah, you're 60,000. They'll
sixty
get you
thousand.
some
Man, I remember when
average.
I remember. See, and that's the thing. I remember when $60,000 got you a really nice high end car, and now
eh,
such is life.
what are you gonna do? You keep it till it dies.
That's exactly it. Keep it
You
till it
just
dies, and
hope you don't die at the same time.
that is definitely the key. Oh
And when
shit!
your car dies, you sit there and you think to yourself, at least we didn't die at the same
At
time.
least we didn't die together,
You know me, Mr. Positivity.
Mister. You know what? I like that. That's a good outlook on things.
You gotta
Oh
gotta
shit.
stay positive.
Well, you got
But
any other car tips there?
no, if I had any interesting niche space, like I was gonna Vian R1T, which is their pickup truck,
Mm-hmm.
and they have an interesting gear tunnel. Right where the bed meets the cab.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a flip down door and space that goes all the way across.
Okay.
So you could store stuff in there. At
Make
the
it a
time,
humidor.
well, that's what I was thinking at the time. I'd
My God.
go to our friend Jim Paquette and
Yeah.
say, "Hey, put something in here." But I I don't have a space for that in this Cadillac. I'm not just going to
Mm,
throw a wooden humidor on the floor or something. I just stick them in
no.
the boxes.
Yeah. You so you just stack boxes. You don't have like a, Rubbermaid
I
tub
got
or anything
nothing.
like that to
I
like
got
at
no.
least keep it
There,
confined up.
there's random boxes. I think right now we got a box of McAuliffe Black, box of Bandolero Sagaces. We got
Nice.
HVC half Coronas. I've got Perdomo Puritos. Those are the really little ones for my dog
Mm.
walking
I
cigars.
thought you were gonna tell me you had a box of fucking Legacy. I was gonna be like, God
No,
damn, you are bragging today.
they haven't unveiled the packaging yet. I think that may happen at PCA. I think
Okay.
it's meant to be some unique packaging that has
There you
not
go.
been seen before.
You should come with Dave.
I don't want to go to New Orleans.
I understand that.
I mean, I went the one time, and the reality is, I didn't have any business there.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
I didn't want to bother
Mm.
people who were conducting business, right?
Oh, okay.
So I
That-
wasn't even doing any media stuff,
Oh,
right? All I would be is a pest.
there you go. All right.
But, it's fun to wander the show floor, but once you've done it, you've done it,
Yeah.
and so I haven't felt compelled to go back.
Okay. That's fair enough.
I enjoyed it, but it's
Well, but
over.
Tony V's gonna be there though.
I know that's the disappointment.
Yeah. See, you could go
Not that
and
he's going to be there, but that I'm not
I
going
was
to
gonna
be
say, I'm like, wait,
there.
yeah, but see that's the thing. Go and hang out with Tony V, you know?
Eh,
Nah.
just
I'm
didn't happen.
trying to push you, but I don't think it's happening.
Nah,
So
I don't think I'll be there.
all right.
You'll like it though.
It's my first time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just not a big New Orleans fan, but we'll
Eh,
see. I will
well,
say I'm here's what I'm advocating for. I don't know how many years they're locked into New Orleans. I would assume that there was probably a contract for a number of years.
yeah, I don't know the whole thing. I'm
I don't
pretty
know.
sure they're back there again next year.
But here's what I'm advocating for. So I just saw recently that the woman that's running for the mayor of St. Louis, um, she's running against the incumbent, and I'm pretty sure she's going to kick the incumbent's ass because based upon the primary and various things, it's a complicated process they got over there. But I'm pretty sure St. Louis is going to have a new mayor come April, and so she's having a meet and greet at the Hill Cigar Company here coming up soon, and that just blows my mind that this
chose that location.
yes,
Yeah.
blows my mind.
So you
So
got to go.
so it makes me think that perhaps maybe she might be friendly to cigar people. And what
She
I think,
probably isn't unfriendly if she's going to a smoky environment
that's
for a
what I'm
meet and
saying.
greet.
So here's what my thought is. I think PCA ought to have their show at St. Louis because the dome that the Rams used to play in, like nobody does shit there except for the XFL, you know.
Mm.
So like they could have that. We could fill that whole place with smoke. Stanley's, which is up for an award at PCA this year. They're in the running for like best cigar bar or something like that.
Was that a dome that opened at the top so you could let the smoke out?
I don't know if it did. I no, it did not open at the
No,
top. No, but
it's an
so
ancient dome.
they'd have to vent it somehow. But that's okay. You know what? Nobody else is using it. I mean, they use it like a couple times. Like I said, the XFL, the monster trucks come there, and otherwise,
How about a rodeo? Do you have
I
any
think we do
rodeos?
get
Yeah, of
rodeos come
course you
through.
do.
Hey, come on. Yeah, but I mean, so no, I think we ought to do that, and then it's in the middle of the country. Everybody just kind of it's half the distance to Vegas for the people on the East Coast. It's a little further for people on the West Coast, but it's close
Yeah.
and whatever. And then
And
it's
then when the show's not on, there's nothing to do.
well, yeah, but
Yeah, well.
it's convenient for me, Ed, and that's what I'm looking for here.
Well,
I'm looking for convenience for me.
yes,
So,
I understand. But, even with New Orleans, what difference does it make, right? Because think about you haven't been to PCA, but let's say TPE. Do you have
yeah,
a lot of time to go do shit? You're
not
there really
not really.
to work.
Yeah, not really. And by the
You
end of
know,
the day, you're freaking wiped and exhausted. You
right?
go and find some food, and then at best, you want to sit in your hotel bar and have a cigar and then go
Right.
to bed.
Right.
You know,
So even when you go to find food, you're thinking, oh, I don't want a production.
yeah, what's
I
close?
want
What's
to get
close?
in and out and be done with it and then go chill for a while.
And we have good food in St. Louis,
What do you
despite
got,
what
ribs?
some we've got barbecue. I mean, pizza is one of those debatable topics, but there are good pizza places. You just don't fall for the emos trap. Everyone's like, oh, emos pizza. It's like that's tourist St. Louis pizza. You gotta talk. I can get you good pizza. There's
Well, listen,
Blackthorn is good pizza.
people get
There's
too obsessed about this pizza. There's lots of very good pizza out there,
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
For me, it may depend on the mood I'm in, which one I might select.
Precisely. We have a
You know.
steak place that's really, really good. There's
Oh
another
yeah,
one that I haven't tried yet that is on my list. We have some killer burgers. I mean, there's decent food around here. And then if you want Italian, we have the entire Hill neighborhood, and like that is just all sorts of quality stuff there. So I'm saying we have good food.
you
It's
got a
just
giant meatball that Dave could eat.
100%.
There's a
I
giant
can I
meatball
can think of
somewhere.
at least three different Italian places off the top of my head that I would have absolutely no hesitation whatsoever bringing Dave to
Yeah.
and thinking that he would like it. So, but yeah,
All right.
I do
I
know of
mean,
at least one place that makes some really giant meatballs.
listen, New Orleans has good food if you go to the right spots, but
Hmm.
then my concern would be, don't they have that other festival going on at the same time?
Yeah, it's so I was told that this I need, you know what? Let's just confirm. So the French Quarter
Right.
Festival is supposed
Which
to
is
be,
the biggest thing outside of Mardi Gras down there,
yeah,
right?
French Quarter
Yeah.
Fest 2025 runs Thursday, April 10th through Sunday, April 13th. So yeah, it literally runs the exact same time as PCA. And it is the
So,
second largest festival behind Mardi Gras
all
in
right, that's got to
New
make
Orleans.
everything tougher.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
yeah.
transportation, eating.
Why do you think hotel costs were through the roof for the longest
Yeah.
time? You know, hotels are expensive. Truthfully, I'm firmly convinced that is how PCA got that convention center for the show,
Because nobody
because
else wanted it at that
nobody
time.
else exactly. And so
Yep.
they were like, fine, we'll let you smoke in the convention center because nobody else is using it at that time, you know. So
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I'm
I'll
convinced of
be
it.
interested to hear how all of that goes down.
I don't plan on doing too terribly much outside of either the show or my hotel. But my hotel is really close to some good restaurants. Like I think I'm fairly close to like an Emerald's location and a couple other
And
places. I'm like, you
let
know
me
what?
say this
I can
about
do that.
that.
Yeah.
Every time I've been to a couple of Emerald's restaurants and I
Yeah.
go in expecting to be disappointed, but
Yeah.
I haven't been. They've really been very good every time I've
Okay.
gone.
Okay. Well, that's good. I thought you were going a totally different
Nope.
direction with that. Okay. Well,
No,
that's
I
good.
just thought, well, is this going to be like going to Guy Fieri's place and getting some donkey sauce, or what's going on?
He's the mayor of Flavortown.
Is everybody going to be bamming my stuff, or what's going on here?
You don't want people just
I don't
randomly
want to be
bamming your food.
bammed. Now, Mr. J might want to be bammed.
All day long. But he's going to the French Quarter Festival for that, though. So,
Well, so
yeah.
will you attend the Tony V event?
Oh, yeah, I'll go to that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll go
Oh
to
yeah.
that. I mean, I got to hear the horrible joke, and God love him. I love Husto, but Husto comedy is not Husto's
Uh,
strong suit.
my
Um,
favorite line from the whole thing at Cigar Expo was when Tony V said, "Yeah, I'm not sure if that was funny or not, but we know a lot more about you."
mm-mm. Yeah, and both he and Christian talking about cows
Oh, it
and
was
a lot of farm jokes,
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're like the rednecks of the cigar festival or
I
the
don't
cigar industry.
I, I mean, they're definitely the farm boys.
Mhm.
I don't know if Nick Perdomo is going to perform as well if he doesn't have Steve Saka to pick on, though.
Oh, he'll be fine.
Of course, then again, he can still pick on Steve Saka even if he's not up on the stage.
Absolutely.
So I guess he can still use the same
It's
material if he wants to.
funnier if he's there, I think,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I agree. I think Herklotz is going to be
whoa,
he could be a
Herclots could really and
dark horse,
listen, Carney's doing it too.
Oh, that's
You don't
true. That's
know.
true.
He could pull something out.
Is Oliver doing it?
I think Oliver is more like hosting it.
Okay, okay. because
It's a United sponsored event.
yeah, because I mean that got weird with him talking about blowing Willie Nelson or something like that. It
Made you sort of uncomfortable.
well, like I was like sitting there going like I think I know how this joke's supposed to go, and it's not going that way.
No,
And then it really didn't go that way, and I'm
he
like,
tried to add too much. It's supposed to just be a quick hitter.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it didn't
yeah.
work, but no, I'm looking forward to it. That'll be
Well,
good,
let's.
and then I'm also looking forward to um the new hand rolled documentary
Mm,
where they're doing one all about Julio Aroa.
yeah,
So I think that'll be a good time.
it should be great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so you got some things to do
for
besides
sure.
just schmoozing.
Yeah,
Did you
it'll be
figure
fun.
out your audio setup?
I have been pulling components together. I have my Rode wireless mics
Yeah.
this time, and I actually found my I have a DSLR camera that does video. So I'm gonna be dicking with that this weekend, actually trying to make sure that those will work
Yeah, I
together.
mean,
Um,
you got a couple options on that.
I do
You
have a
can
few options.
try to feed the audio into the camera,
Yeah,
or you can record right on those Rode devices, right?
exactly. They have a secondary,
Right.
like
So
a card.
I would just have the mic on the camera,
Yeah,
and then it'll make your job easier syncing it later, right? Because you can
yeah.
look at the waveforms and just take the good audio and match it up to the bad audio.
Which is actually what I do with the iPad when I'm not doing like a Zoom like this, you know.
Ah,
Um, like when I'm just recording here in the garage, um, the iPad just is running and just
yeah.
recording, and then I take
And
the show audio and I, you know, yeah,
yeah, because then in a disaster case, you've got the bad audio if something happened with the good audio.
precisely, yeah.
So,
Some I don't know what happened. Something was going on with the dongle situation with my phone at TPE because TPE I had some wired lapel mics and then they plugged into one of these little handy iPhone dongles
yeah,
and then
yeah,
into my phone, and I think a connection got loose, and that's why like
yeah.
the
That's the
Aladino
problem.
and something
Yeah.
else sounded like shit. So
Oh
yeah,
boy. What are
I
you
know.
gonna do?
You know what? What are you gonna do? So
Well, you make a plan and you execute that plan.
I'm trying. I'm trying my best. I'm looking for a monopod. I need to find a monopod because um I want I don't necessarily want the full tripod setup, but
No, the full tripod takes up too much real estate, and in a
precisely.
tight space, it's a problem.
But the person that's going to be helping me out and holding the camera and everything, I don't want them just holding the camera. I figure the monopod will give them some
I think
stability.
it'll certainly help.
Precisely. It's what I'm looking for. So,
All right.
anyway, well, let's go ahead and do this now. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by Villiger. Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family owned and operated. Head over to villigercigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. So, what have you been watching lately? You always have really interesting stuff.
You know, I was out in the city of Angels, Los
Yes.
Angeles, and I actually witnessed some live entertainment.
Okay.
I actually
Is this what you went out there for?
no, went
Oh,
out to
okay.
visit a friend out there, and
Oh, okay.
must be a good friend because Los Angeles
I was gonna
sucks.
say to go to
It's
California.
terrible.
Yeah.
But it just kind of popped up on my Facebook feed because it knows where I'm at.
Yeah.
That over at the Improv, they had Anthony Jeselnik that night.
Oh yeah.
And you know who else was on the bill? Brad Williams.
Mm.
Yeah. And so I thought, well, they're going to be
Gotta
working
go and do
on new
that.
material, but let's get over there. And
Yeah.
phenomenal. And they had other people too, but we watched Jesselnick and Brad Williams, who may be one of the few people who could follow Jesselnick.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not trying out. He just does what he
He
does,
just
and
does what he
it's a
does.
different thing,
And
and it's
that's the
good.
key. It's totally different than what Jesselnick does.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but then the third one's like some bogus YouTuber, so we left. It's like, what the fuck is this? Let's get
Uh,
out of here.
uh,
Let's go smoke a cigar or something.
that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
But so on the something that comedy people can listen to, not that it was necessarily meant to be comedic. I don't know if you noticed that Bill Burr
Yeah.
did an interview with Terry Gross. Think about
No.
that.
Yeah, no, I haven't
Oh,
seen this interview, but like, oh my.
yeah. What is it, Fresh Air or something? So
Yeah.
if you look up Fresh Air, you've got Terry Gross interviewing Bill Burr.
I feel like that's a mismatch.
They did fine, but
Okay.
it was awkward, very awkward at times.
I would think so. Boy, talk about awkward with Bill Burr. That Howie
Oh yeah,
Mandel.
oh yeah.
Holy shit, man. Him with
He was pissed.
yeah, I mean the Billy Corrigan, and for anybody who doesn't know what this is, just Google, Bill Burr and Billy Corrigan and Howie Mandel. You'll find it. But oh my God, that was awkward, man.
That was awkward. But then on the Bill Burr front,
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet because it comes out tomorrow. His new special is coming out on Hulu tomorrow.
Okay.
And supposedly it's hilarious.
Hilarious.
You get it?
I
That's what
get
they're
it.
doing over there now.
Oh, it's
Hilarious.
hilarious. Oh my God.
I mean,
I
other
did.
than that, as soon as I can get rid of you, I got to watch the new episode of Reacher.
As soon as I can get rid of you. Um, I did see who was it? Fuck, it's that panel. I'm totally drawing. It's a 3-person panel.
What, the Kill Tony thing?
Yes, Kill Tony. Kill was in my I had like Kill Kennedy in my head for
Kill
something. And
Bill, kill
and I'm like,
somebody.
it's not Kennedy. What the hell? But
Kill
yeah.
Kennedy. Which one? Junior?
They've already done all that. Anyway. No, so Kill Tony, I saw that they got a deal, or he got a deal
Yeah.
for Netflix
Yeah.
for some of that. So that's cool.
Well, it seems like some are drifting over to Hulu now. Maybe they're paying bigger money
They
to
might be.
draw. You never can know, right?
No, you never can. Well, Hulu's owned by Disney, so you get that Disney money.
Oh, sweet Disney money.
Sweet Disney money.
Dan's not getting that. He's giving it.
Well, yeah, it's because of guys like Dan that Disney has the money to give.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah, because that always just blows my mind. The couple times I've been to Disney,
I do.
when my daughter was younger, I'm looking around thinking, how can all these people afford this?
They can't. They're putting it on credit cards. That's why we
Ooh.
have the American people right now have one of the highest levels of credit card debt in history. I mean, I was just reading that. I guess the average household is close to $11,000 in credit card debt. I mean, it's crazy. But I remember, oh God, when would this have been? 2018. There was the big trip to Disney, take the kid and do the big trip to Disney. Stupid expensive. Stupid expensive.
It's crazy.
And he was 2, so he doesn't remember any of it. So,
that's what I always encourage people is hold off as long as you can. If they're not asking you yet, then it's not time.
Exactly. Don't go.
Don't push it.
Yeah. It's for you at that point, not for them. You're using them as an excuse. Don't do that. Don't be a Disney adult.
And I would say for entertainment, I don't recommend LA.
That is not a it's
there
not
was
a town
one place
I've ever...
I wanted to go. I mean, it's a pizza place, guy named Chris Bianco, who is, one of the premier pizza makers. I thought, well, I should try it while I'm out here.
Mm-hmm.
It was 8 miles from where I'm staying.
Yeah.
It'd take an hour and a half to get there. and an
Yeah.
hour and a half back for 8 miles. And I thought, there's no pizza that's that good to spend
Oh,
3 hours.
so you didn't try it?
No, I
Oh,
refused.
that's kind of sad.
I know, but
It's the one place you were thinking about. That's so. I mean,
well,
I
there
don't
were
know.
two places. There's also a barbecue place that's looks phenomenal. A- Adam Perry Lang is the guy's name, and
Man, I know, but I just I don't know if I trust California barbecue.
oh no, no, you look up Adam Perry Lang on
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah.
His videos are food porn. I
Okay,
mean,
okay.
but then that was even further away. That's Venice Beach. I thought that's
Oh yeah,
can't happen. But and once I realized, I think that weekend he had some. He was actually smoking some duck with an
Oh,
orange sauce, and
okay.
then he had racks of lamb chops. And when I went to look at it, you got to buy the whole thing.
Oh shit, that's a lot.
And it's like, well, no, I want to try a bunch of stuff. Well, I don't need a whole rack of lamb.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's way too much.
It's too much.
And if you want to try a bunch of stuff, then you're
Right. I
spending a ton at that point
wouldn't have
too.
minded trying the tomahawk, but $240 for a 4 pound tomahawk,
Well, exactly. And your investments aren't what they used to be. So, you
Oh,
gotta
don't even get me started on that. Oh, dear
uh
Lord. Yeah,
I
every day I sit there thinking, okay, looks like it could be
I
marginally up today if everyone could just shut the fuck up
just
for one day.
oops. Never mind.
And no,
Uh
because it'll start up and then just tank. Yeah. Oh yeah,
mm,
it's another bad day on the market so far.
oh God.
Yeah.
Well, I like I mentioned earlier, I sat and I binged through the third season of Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
And if they don't do a fourth season, I can live with that as much as I desperate. I don't want this show to ever end because it is just so heartwarming and so wonderful. But on the flip side, if they end it where they ended it, then I could be happy with that. But have you watched it?
Oh yeah.
I
Back when it was actually in vogue.
I know, but I was slow
Um,
to it, and
and
it was the only
Nick,
thing on Apple TV I cared about. So it's like,
given that you're so far behind, yeah, they're not doing a season four.
I know there's always articles, but
Yeah.
they don't need to. They don't need to. I'm
There's
fine
always
with
the
it.
teaser articles. Will this be back? Well, no, it's been gone for a decade. It won't be
Yeah,
back.
but fuck, it was so good. It was just so wonderful,
I'd rather
and
them end things while they're still good.
it ended just fine. Are there certain things that I would like maybe a little bit more resolution to? Yeah, but I'm perfectly fine with it. I do feel like they teed it up for possibly more if they wanted to, with
Right.
the introduction of the prospect of a Richmond ladies team, so you have guy players and female players, um but again, that's spin-offs if they want to do spin-offs or this and that and whatever. They don't have to. But I just it was so good. I liked it so much. And
Huh.
you know,
Well, now how are you going to follow that up? Do you have a plan?
I don't. I have no plan at this point. There is one thing. Oh,
Uh-oh. He's
choking at nine.
dying.
I know.
We don't know. It seems like we're losing the host because
Oh my
this would
gosh.
be the highest rated ever.
It would.
I don't know who's
Nobody.
going to put it
I
out
was gonna
when
say
you're
nobody's
gone,
gonna
but
listen to it because nobody can because I'll be going. But no, there's one movie on there. Oh my god, I can't clear the tickle. There's one movie on there, the Tetris movie. Have you seen
oh
that?
God, no. Why would I ever see that?
It's the
That
story of how they got the game out of Russia because the guy who created it obviously was a Russian citizen, and because he created it, it technically belonged to the government, and so the
mm,
government had to um I guess, give permission to allow this to go out.
Oh,
And,
I thought
you
when you
know,
said Tetris movie, I thought they were going to have characters and
oh,
animate this.
like
Yeah.
blocks are coming down.
Yeah.
No, 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 no,
It's
no,
my
no, no.
favorite block right there.
No, it's like it's like a kind of a pseudo political thriller
Mm.
mixed with like business stuff and whatnot, and so it looks
See,
pretty good. So
yeah, in
I'm
that vein, I always loved The King of Kong.
yes, that
That
is such a fantastic
it's
documentary.
so well done, It's got intrigue and love interests and all
Oh,
kinds of stuff.
and the one guy
Evil
is just
people.
the yeah he Billy was his
Oh
Bill.
yeah.
I don't remember his last name, but Billy is such a douchebag, and he's just such a wonderful villain. And I think it was the mullet that really
Hmm.
helped make him such a horrible guy. But yeah, no, that
What
was a really good
what
documentary.
do you
But
think? Is this holding up?
yeah, it's still ridiculously straight. That is just ridiculously straight Burnley. Um, but Severance is the other show on Apple TV
I
that I
haven't
keep hearing a
started it.
lot about. So that
Yeah.
one fascinates me because I've heard just enough to get the basic premise, which is essentially there's this one company and you don't know what they do. You have no idea what they
Mhm.
do at this company. And when you go, there's a certain floor of the building, and if you're on that floor, then you are severed. And so when you get in the elevator, I guess there's like a series of light flashes or something like that. I don't know. I was told about this and it sounds intriguing. It triggered. They do something to your brain, and so when you get in the elevator and you go to this floor, it switches in your brain, and you become
Oh,
a totally different aspect of yourself.
huh.
And when you're at work, you are this person. But then when you get in the elevator to go home, you flip again and you're the other, you're yourself. And you have
Ah.
no memory whatsoever of what you did at work. It's like you were asleep for that period of time. But when you're at work, you have no memory of your life outside of work. And it's like you were just asleep, whatever.
Huh.
And it's the total separation of work and home life
When
in
I
that
heard
regard.
Severance something, what is this about laid off government workers?
No, yeah, I know, right? No, no, it has this weird home and work life, but there's the questions of what nefarious shit is this company doing at this facility, and that's why they have to have their
Huh.
employees like not know what's going on when they're at work and everything. So it
Because
sounds just weird enough that I'm willing to give it a shot.
have you heard the new euphemism for layoffs?
Oh God, no.
They're being promoted outward.
Oh, I
Oh,
mean
isn't that nice?
that's a nice way of putting it. Like, you know what? We're giving you the chance to go out and do
Go
something
be
now.
a better you.
I just want to know if Mr. Jonathan is responding to the emails about 5 things that he's been doing productive at work this week.
Oh, I don't know how he could. He's on vacation. Uh,
Anyway, well, do you have anything else that you were
n-
entertained by?
no, I'm
All
not
right,
easily entertained.
there you go. Well, let's do this now. It's time to fly high with Blackbird Cigars. Blackbird Cigars offers you remarkable quality using the most delicate and finest tobacco to always ensure that you're receiving unsurpassed cigars. Blackbird Cigars strives to give you undoubted repeating flavor for every cigar you smoke and impressive quality so that you can always expect greatness. Check out their website for a full list of stores carrying Blackbird Cigars and give them a test flight. Blackbird Cigars can't clip our wings. So earlier this month, Mitchell Bundy of Altoona, Wisconsin, found himself in a
Related to Al?
I don't know,
It
but
doesn't get into that.
doesn't get into that. But he found himself in a bit of a situation. It was late and he needed to get home. He was driving home and out of nowhere, some trash cans jumped out in front of his vehicle.
Mhm.
Startled, he drove away quickly. However, some busybodies got his license plate number and they reported him to the police. Cops came to his home and found green plastic from the garbage cans on his front bumper. Bundy thought the incident happened days ago and did not remember that it happened 30 minutes earlier. A police officer thought that Bundy's eyes looked a little glossy and that his speech was slurred. Bundy admitted to drinking a little bit that day. Well, Bundy ended up being charged with operating a motor vehicle while under the influence, his 12th offense, felony bail jumping, and operating a motor vehicle while his license was revoked.
So he's not getting any better at it with practice.
No. A preliminary hearing is ironically scheduled for April 1st, 2025. So, guys, this St. Patrick's Day, maybe don't be exactly like Mitchell Bundy and have a designated driver, but party like Bundy and Blackbird Cigars and don't let anybody clip your wings.
Oh,
see how I spun that around?
He spun it.
I 12 DUIs. I feel like that's an impressive enough record to make this segment.
You would think he wouldn't have had a license for this one or the previous 6.
Well,
maybe.
See, that's the problem is he was revoked already from his 11th, and so he wasn't supposed to be driving, and so he got his 12th, and
he had to get the hell out of there.
It's a much bigger deal, yeah. But those damn trash cans, they jumped out in front of him, and whatever.
Is that where they lose patience after 11 of them?
Apparently. I mean, it is Wisconsin, and I think drinking and driving is essentially an Olympic sport there. But I don't know. Noah sent me that, and he seemed entertained by it. And I told him I was going to make it a Blackbird segment. And, he did. I don't know if he believed me, but here we go. It seemed appropriate.
Spin on it.
You got to figure out. You can find the silver lining. Find the silver lining. Well, since it's Friday,
is it?
It's time. Well, I mean, when this episode comes out, it'll be Friday. Right. So since it's Friday, it's time for a Pinky fun fact.
Hey, it's your girl Pinky. Ready for a fun fact? Colgate toothpaste isn't a big seller in countries with certain Spanish dialects, and that's because the word loosely translates to go hang yourself. This has been Pinky, and I'll be back next time with more fun facts.
Colgate, go hang yourself.
Wouldn't stop me from buying it.
No, I mean, now if it said go fuck yourself, that's a whole different thing.
That's a different thing.
It's a different thing. But, I don't know where she comes up with these things. Some of these are really bizarre.
Do you think she makes them up?
Maybe. Who am I to question if Colgate means go hang yourself?
Do you know her personality traits, or that's not released information?
I don't know them, but I'm going to have to ask now that you bring that up. Because if she's testing everybody else, then by God, I would think that she would have to disclose her own.
I would think.
I mean, I think it's only fair. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Talk to her. See how it goes.
I'll figure that out. So anyway, well, what kind of final, how far along are you on that? You smoke slower than I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We're
in the same ballpark.
Same ballpark, yeah.
Mine was a 6.
6? Okay.
A 6-inch, not a 6 as a rating. Or strength, actually. It's not far off from that 6.
Okay.
It's got some strength to it. Although it's a really smooth smoking experience. I'm getting some creamy vanilla off of this thing, a little bit of cinnamon. It's really a phenomenally good cigar. It's going to be interesting because this is every bit as good as the 30th.
Yeah.
But it's different. I think when Dave smoked the Shade Grown, he said that he never would have guessed it was a Perdomo cigar. It's a very different smoking experience.
Okay.
And he said that in a positive way, really loves the cigar, but, it might be a tad strong for him, but he was able to smoke through it.
I've heard that. So, like, my dad, admittedly, is not the biggest fan of Perdomo cigars, only because they tend to run a little strong for his personal smoking pleasure. And it's not that they're bad cigars. It's just they're too strong for him. And I know I have another friend of mine Now, admittedly, he maybe has 3 cigars a year. But he tried the champagne and he's like, this is too much. I'm like, well, I would have told you that. But anyway, so he doesn't really do Perdomo cigars either for that same reason, that they're just a little too much for him. So that's interesting. So the legacy's just a little amped up, you think?
I mean, it's not amped from the champagne,
Yeah,
you
but
know, as far as Connecticut's go.
okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
and part of it is it gets harder to distinguish strength when you've got something that's really smooth and
Mm-hmm.
well aged, right? Doesn't mean it's
Mm-hmm.
not strong, but there aren't those strong pepper notes you pick up on. And
Yeah, which is maybe why I'm rating this Aganorsa a little low. Like you seem to be thinking I'm coming in a little low on this Aganorsa
oh, a little bit.
because it's been very smooth. It's been very easy. I did another retrohale while you were talking. It was
Yeah,
no
I
big
haven't
thing.
smoked one in a while. I'd
So
put it straight medium. It could go medium minus.
yeah,
That's my own
I
category.
would I would say that. I would say that. Just under a 5, maybe a little. If
Right.
we had decimal points, we could
I
put it in
know.
between the
You're
4 and
not
the
calling
5.
it mild though. It's medium minus.
No, I would say medium minus. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
fair. That's good. I like that.
What
Um,
about this thing, 3 cigars we smoked this week?
we could do
Should
that.
we
I don't have the thingy,
oh,
but
so
I
we
could
can't
easily.
do it?
Oh no, we could do it. Guess what, motherfucker? And,
There you go.
3 cigars we smoked and enjoyed this week. You think Trump pardons him?
I don't know.
I follow him on Instagram for some damn reason, and he is just begging on a constant daily basis to get a pardon from Trump. And
Well,
I just, for the life of me, I don't know if it's going to happen. But
as is that crypto crook is begging. What
crypto
was it?
crook.
Sam, the crypto guy that stole all the money that Brady was, you know, people were repping the company.
Oh, I'd have
Sam,
to.
is it Brinkman something?
Okay, yeah, no,
Might
I
have
don't
been
know.
3 names, which always sets off Mr. Garofalo.
Dun dun dun.
He doesn't want 3 names.
Well, when he gets set off too much and goes and off somebody, we're gonna have to figure out what Dave's middle name is because that's when you start having to call somebody by their full name.
Yep.
You know.
Well, 3 cigars I smoked in.
I was gonna say, what cigars did you smoke and enjoy?
2 out of the 3 were Perdomo Legacies.
You son of a bitch! You're just using this to brag.
The shade grown and the Connecticut. I have not tried the Maduro yet.
Do you have one?
Yes, I do.
Of course you do.
Why wouldn't I?
No, I don't know.
The third one that I smoked and enjoyed was the Fiddlehead.
Oh, the new one from Dunbarton.
The new one from Dunbarton. Now,
yeah,
it's a Sumatra wrapped cigar, but he got a lot of the yuck out of it.
Okay.
And it's a gorgeous wrapper on that cigar.
What cigar was it I had? You always say that about the yuck in the Sumatra, and I've had other Sumatra cigars and haven't really noticed yuck. And then
you found one, huh?
And then I found one, and I tasted it, and I found what was in it, and I'm like, there it is. There's the Sumatra yuck that he's talked about. And now I can't remember what cigar it was.
Well, you don't need to name it anyway.
Well, no, but I just for my own sake, I want to know just so that I know to avoid it. But yeah, no, I did. I found the yuck. So
I don't know if it's like some people are with cilantro, and I just have different yuck receptors.
Possible. But I don't know. I definitely picked up a yuck. And like I said, when I looked at the makeup of the cigar, right off the bat, I think the wrapper was Sumatra. And I just right away, I thought of you and I was like, son of a bitch, it's the Sumatra yuck.
Yeah, you'll
So
pick up more of that when people say they're using Indonesian fillers.
because you get a lot more of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just means cheap shit.
Noted. Noted.
Yeah.
I had a blackened S84.
I enjoy those.
I do too. Much, much, much more than the M81.
Mm-hmm.
The M81 for me, it's just entire.
Didn't do it for you, huh?
It's one note. It's too much. It's just
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if
it.
you like the note, fine.
Yeah, it's like Metallica in general. If you like it, it's fine. But
But it's not going to change
but
up
it's
that much.
not really. You know what you're getting. And
Yeah.
but no, that
No.
S84, it's got enough of a different flavor profile to
Yeah.
it that I think it's a really solid cigar. Um, Otherwise, truthfully, I hit up. We have a shop here locally. It's a liquor store that has a really really nice big humidor to it, and they have really good prices on their cigars because they buy in incredible bulk and they get like box discounts and things like that, and so they actually pass that on to the consumer,
Nice.
and it's nice, and so that's where I go for a lot of my stock up, driving cigars and things like that, and so it's been fair. I've smoked a lot of cigars, but it's been a lot of the same things because I went by there and stock. They also do a deal where if you buy 15 cigars, you get 15% off. So that was kind of nice because I saved like what $30, I think. It was a decent amount of money. But I had a Zeno Nicaragua Toro because they
Oh
carry
yeah.
those there,
It's a
and
good smoke for the price point.
it's like $7 and some
Yeah.
change for the Toro. I mean, like,
How
yeah,
can you
no,
complain?
that's what I'm saying. Super solid. And then another one that I've smoked a lot of in the last couple days is the Brick House Natural Toro.
You do enjoy those.
Again, for the price point, I like the natural, and that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm more a fan of the El Baton.
See, they
It's
don't
more
carry the El
expensive, I
Baton at
think.
that
Yeah.
at that shop. They don't carry the El Baton, but you're right. I do like the El Baton a lot.
There's an El Baton firecracker coming.
I do. I'm looking forward to
Although
that.
it's not standard El Baton since it's a Cameroon wrapper.
Yeah. Why are they putting? I guess because, like, why are they branding it as El Baton if it's not the standard El
I
Baton
don't have
makeup?
insight into that.
I just didn't know if you happen to know, just
No.
out of pocket. But okay, well, something to ask Oliver at some point.
And Altada's changed up their ad on the ash holes, and I've actually been kind of intrigued by the Romeo y Julieta Reserva Real Nicaragua Midnight Twist.
That's a good one.
Have you had it?
I have had it. I've had it
for its good striped cigar.
2 or 3. It is a good striped cigar.
Yeah.
But see, I smoked the hell out of the regular Reserva Real Nicaragua. Yeah, that midnight twist to it. It's
you
it's
and
good.
Pinky
But
smoked the best striped cigar. Right?
We did. We smoked the La Giana 30th.
Yeah, she enjoyed that.
She did enjoy it.
Those are still in my rotation.
They're good. They're solid cigars, and I admittedly had a little trouble pulling flavor from that cigar that day. I don't know. Did I smoke a lot that day? Let me go back in the list.
You
and
got
look.
the records, huh?
Oh yeah. I'm keeping my records again this year. No, that was actually the first cigar of the day for me. So
Wow.
I don't know why. I don't know why I was having issues, but yeah, I was having issues with that cigar, like
it's
pulling
a defect in you.
specific. Probably.
Probably.
Probably. But no, it was. Yeah. No, I've got the records. Actually, ironically, that day I smoked that La Giana 30th, and at some point later that day, smoked the Reserva Real Nicaragua. Those were the 2 cigars I smoked that day.
Wow, look at you!
I know. it's like it just came full circle again.
It did.
So
Without any plan at all.
No
it just
plan
happened.
whatsoever. Oh, well. Well, I guess this is the point in the show that I say that I'm available on Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit. I'm on Facebook, where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group. People can get in on the fun over there. I'm on Twitter/X. I'm on Rumble so that everybody can watch it there if and when YouTube finally takes me down. But for right now, I'm on YouTube. And if you are a Spotify user, I'm on Spotify with video too, so you can watch it there. Although I did read an interesting report recently talking about specifically Gen Z podcast listeners, and they were talking about how Spotify is one of their is like their platform of choice, but that audio, they just mostly use it for audio. They don't care about the video.
I heard somebody talking about that report today. And they want the audio.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, listen, for a lot of people, the way they consume podcasts is when they're doing something else. Whether that be driving or walking or working out. And audio's a better format.
Well, and I understand that because, why would somebody care about sitting and watching me sit in my garage and talk to them?
With some old guy on the screen. Yeah, they don't give a shit.
I don't understand. Like, if I were actually actively doing something, like there are certain episodes where perhaps it would make sense. Like if the cereal challenge that I did, where with the at least then you get to see the different bowls of cereal or whatnot. But
or if you're showing some things on the screen, something, right?
If you have a cigar roller in studio and they're like showing you how to roll stuff, that's one thing. But
I get that people might be interested. What does this guy look like? But after you don't need to see that again.
Exactly. Who really needs to see that? But
they don't.
I don't know. And it would make my life exponentially easier if I didn't have to worry about video.
I know what you're saying.
I know you know what I'm saying. But I would love to be able to cut the video, but for right now, it's still there. But I don't know. If I see a few more reports like that, by God, I'm going to start thinking about it. So anyway, and then for you, people.
I'm available on all the anti-social media platforms, which means I'm generally not available.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me on the Cigar Authority.
Well, that's kind of what I was.
Saturdays at noon Eastern. And we got the after show that comes out on Wednesdays at 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
Well, that's not live.
I was going to say, you guys
I could do it. I'm awake.
I was going to say, you're up.
But, and that's available on podcast platforms. And we do put that video up on Rumble.
Okay.
Just for our Rumble fans.
Rumble, I mean, it's got its home. And, especially if YouTube kicks us off.
What I'm seeing, I don't know how any of this stuff gets measured, but I've seen our Rumble grow to the same size as our YouTube audience.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's impressive. I haven't quite gotten there yet.
Part of that may have been, when we were banned for a couple weeks.
That
may
would
have
make
gone
sense.
over there and then just stayed, right?
That would make sense.
As Rumble does not have the age restrictions.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I would say about Rumble that kind of slightly, and this is not to deter people from using it, but it's just one of those things that they're going to encounter it just like I did. The commercials, I feel like there's a few, the advertising is a little heavier over there.
I'm hearing YouTube's getting really bad.
True.
I got the no ad thing because I don't have the tolerance, but I think they were also planning to expand mid-rolls too.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Even worse.
There are a handful of little things I watch on YouTube, and if you're watching a 10-minute video on YouTube, you're seeing an ad in the beginning, in the middle, and at the end, so
And is it one of those where it doesn't even make sense where they do the ad insertion?
They
like
cut right in the middle.
Or...
That's exactly what I was about to say. Mid-sentence, they're cutting that commercial in there, and they don't even remotely care. So, it's obnoxious, but
whatever.
What are you gonna? Everybody's got to make a buck, I guess. So,
I guess.
Well, Ed, thank you so much for taking time out of your morning. I appreciate it.
This is one of the few joys I have in life.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad I could provide that for you. So you should come to Pulpit Fest.
I might get in trouble, though.
Why?
Well, because I wouldn't be there to do Cigar Authority.
But there's other people that can slot in for you.
Yeah. I don't know. I would love to go.
The Aussie gal.
She left the studio.
Oh, well, shit. See, I'm not up to date on all the ins and outs and whys and wherefores.
Well, yeah, but Aaron's running the Ash Holes now, so
there you go. You could have Aaron come over and come up to the big show
I feel like I'm already in hot water this year because now I will say in my defense, I scheduled my Europe vacation last year. Well, guess what week I'm not there?
What week?
The week Nick Perdomo and Nicholas are launching
the Legacy.
The Perdomo Legacy.
Hey, you know what? You had your trip scheduled way back when.
I know. I was in first.
Exactly. So,
I mean,
they should have conferred with you.
I know.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do.
I'm just saying, you could have Aaron. Think of it. Oh, see this. All right. I'm giving Dave a brilliant idea. Although, obviously, see, Dave and Mr. Jonathan could just pack up and come down too. And then at that point, you guys could just broadcast from Florida.
Live from Pulpit Fest. It's
right?
The Cigar Authority.
I'm just saying it's an option.
He listens to this nonsense, so maybe
there you go.
Maybe he'll have a response for you. Usually,
there's a thought too. Or what? Here's a thought. Maybe if he wants to pump up the ash hole numbers a little bit.
Sure.
Just you guys just all take that week off. You come down and you just have the ash holes
to do the TCA.
Take over the TCA for 1 week and have the ash holes take over the TCA. See how well they do with handling filling 2 hours with bits and everything else.
Because we could take over the ash holes on Tuesday.
And see, there you go. You guys are doing
you
guys
Fest.
Do a shorter show.
Yeah.
And then you come down, and then they have to worry about filling 2 hours plus a half an hour after show.
Oh, my God. That would be interesting.
Right? See?
Uh-huh.
Thinking here.
After show's recorded, so we could still do that one.
I'm trying to get you less work here.
No, I appreciate that.
Don't reel it back. I'm trying to get you less work.
Is that one of your strengths? Work avoidance.
I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah.
I am pretty good at that. So,
right.
just a thought.
I'm liking it.
There you go. Okay. Well, Ed, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I really want to thank Ed for taking time out of his morning to sit and chat with me. It's always a pleasure. I have fun with Ed. It's a good time. Well, we went through the socials. We went through all the stuff. The only thing I have left to say is, guys, this weekend is St. Patrick's Day weekend. Obviously St. Patrick's Day is Monday, but it seems like everybody's going to be celebrating this weekend. So do me a favor. Stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. Uber and Lyft are your friends. Just do what you do. Have a good time, and don't do anything too stupid. I want everybody to come back and listen to me again on Tuesday. Well, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick. Everybody stay safe and stay smoky. Later, guys.